Well, hey everyone, my name is Nathan Jones, and if you're new here, welcome. I like to talk about all things movies, specifically Blu-rays. And hello, Nathan.
Hello, Nathan. How's it going?
There are two Nathans now that have entered
Yes.
the chat. This is great. Nathan Hale, I've known about you for quite some time now, and I've been a big fan of your channel and its new iteration, which I'm sure you'll talk about in a second. But how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Yeah, really excited to be on here. Long overdue for the Nathans to come together and talk movies. I mean, I am a big fan of your channel as well, especially the Criterion talk. Really any movie talk. So happy to be here and thank you for inviting me.
Well, I appreciate it, and yeah, like we were saying, it's just long overdue. So
Yeah.
now I speaking of Criterion, that's actually one of the more recent things that I saw you with a mutual friend of ours, Movie Geek. uh
Yeah.
he was able to meet you and go to some Barnes and Nobles. That was cool.
Yeah, that was so cool. What happened was Nick was shooting a short film in Utah, and Bernardo or Movie Geek was visiting to help Nick out with that. And I think it was Bernardo. They were working this out on their own, but I think it was Bernardo that said, "Hey, July is Criterion sale," and Nick is like, "Oh my gosh, you're right." And so they're like, "Okay, we're definitely going to do something." And so, but even before the Criterion sale, we had hung out um, two other times. We did a movie night and then another movie night, and then after the Criterion sale, we watched Napoleon Dynamite for Bernardo's first time. So
I
it was
saw
just like,
that was great.
yeah, yeah, he was. It was fun. He was there for a week, and I hung out with him three different times. But the Criterion sale day was the best one, of course. So it was cool. Like seriously, never thought that would happen. We had talked about it, like oh someday, but I think it was. I think all of us kind of thought, yeah, like yeah, someday, right? But like,
Mhm.
and then it actually happened. And it's like this is so cool.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, obviously, I've been traveling as well recently, and just seeing other people. Like, I think it's weird because I feel like a lot of us knew each other. I mean, I knew about you before the pandemic,
Yeah.
but like when the pandemic started, I feel like a lot of we I guess we all grew closer.
Yeah, I agree.
I would guess, and since that, like, and now that it's kind of, well, we don't know if it's up and down, but anyway,
Yeah,
we're seeing each other more, which is
sure. Yeah.
cool, and I've never thought we could do that, which is awesome.
No, yeah. I completely agree. I was at a family thing and I told them I was like, "Oh, I have to head out. I have to head out. I have a friend from Texas. I met him on YouTube." And they're like, "You met him on YouTube?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I met him on YouTube." And they're like, "How do you meet someone through YouTube?" And I was like, "When you're in the community we are, you just meet a lot of cool people."
Yeah. I mean, well, that's that at least you didn't go all to another country.
Oh yeah, yeah, no kidding.
Like, just be like, well, I don't know you guys too well, but hey, let's just meet in London or something.
Yeah, I know, I know. Go visit Elliot Cohen or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, I dodged him because he went to New York the same
I
time.
was just watching his video earlier today.
Yeah. So we were gonna plan and saying hi to each other and meeting up, but of course, things
Yeah,
happen. Well, eventually it'll happen. He'll come over here or vice versa. So that's just the cool thing about this community. But anyway, I'm sure everyone is like, what's going on? But
yeah, yeah. Who are you guys?
yeah, who are you guys? So for everyone who hasn't checked out A Film Journey before, so what we're gonna do is we're going to jump into our guests' film journey from their early years all the way up to where they're at now, and talk about all those things in between, right? But real quick before we jump into that, let me tell me more about what's been going on in your channel.
Yeah, sure. So Nathan Hale Classics is all about reviewing classical things. So older movies, older TV shows. I love specifically um, talking about James Stewart. I love talking about Alfred Hitchcock, Twilight Zone. Right now on my channel, I have Alfred Hitchcock Month. It's the third year I've been doing it. And I would say that this year is the biggest of all 3 years. Have a slate lined up. It's the first time I've ever like released a video that says this is when you can expect a video on each day of the month. And so yeah, I have videos coming up, videos that I've already released. So if you're a fan of Alfred Hitchcock, make sure to check that out. But then other than that, I just like doing talking about old actors. So like for an example, Charles Lawton, not the most popular older actor, but one of my favorites. I did a top 10 ranking of his last in July, little things like that. And so that's really what I talk about on my channel. But the biggest thing right now is Alfred Hitchcock month.
And when this comes out, this will be kind of the middle of August, so you're going to have quite a bit of content out.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it comes. I was gonna say something's coming out on Saturday, but I was like, wait, I don't know when this video will be out.
Yeah,
So, but whenever everyone's watching this video, I'll have a ranking out of all of Alfred Hitchcock's movies. So that's
I'll be
exciting.
linking your channel down in the description down below, of course.
Cool.
Yes, I can't wait to watch that before
Oh,
everyone else, of course. They don't know.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
people on my channel, of course. So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, this I love your channel. I've been, like I said, I've been a fan of it for years, and I love the new direction. And yeah, Hitchcock Month is great. I mean, earlier this year, I did a little Hitchcock thing where I kind of wanted to watch the silent movies, which I've never seen before.
Oh,
So
cool. Yeah.
yeah, so that was a lot of fun. So I started with The Lodger, and then I went from there. Even though I was definitely the best silent
Oh,
movie
yeah.
of the bunch.
No, yeah,
That's
that's his best one for sure. Yeah.
so, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. All right. Well, before we jump into the film journey, one more thing I'll ask is, what about some current watches? What have you been watching besides Hitchcock? What have
Besides
you been
Hitchcock.
focusing on? Yeah.
Yeah, let me pull up my good old app called Letterboxd. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, no, it's a fun one. I'm trying to look at. So the last few watches were all. It was the last three Alfred Hitchcock movies I had to see before I could release the ranking. But besides that, my watch pattern, normally I have like a pattern. Like, so for an example, each month I will draw a name from this jar, and that's like my actor of the month.
Oh,
And
nice.
whoever I draw, I try to watch at least 5 movies from them. And I haven't done that in July and now in August because I've been preparing for Hitchcock month and catching up on other things. But so like it's been weird. Normally I could say, well, I'm focusing on this actor, but I watched the Harry Potter movies, some of them recently because it was his birthday on the 31st. So my friends and I did a little marathon. But I'd say the other biggest thing is, all right, cool. It's a Quasimodo Funko Pop that just fell. Um, the other biggest thing is I've been doing the Peter Bogdanovich challenge all year,
Very nice. Yeah.
and he has a movie each week. I'm super behind on it, but I plan once I'm done with kind of like Hitchcock month stuff, I plan on just spending a week and watching a movie a day instead of a movie a week and just catching up.
Catching up.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's kind of been that's what I've been up to recently.
I mean, I work similarly where I definitely have phases. Like right now, what I'm currently doing is I'm spotlighting a different director each week.
Oh, cool.
From like the week that I put this out, Ireland and England will already be there. So I have Noel Coward and David Lean. That
Oh,
box
cool.
set from Criterion. I watched all those films, which I absolutely loved. And I think you would enjoy it quite a bit if you haven't seen any of their films. I'm sure you've seen like Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah. I've seen some David Lean, but there are ones that I definitely want to see more of from him.
Brief Encounter is what I highly recommend.
Oh, Breathing Counter. I have seen that one too.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, that
That's
one's
so,
a great
so
one.
damn good. But yeah, so I'm doing that. I'm watching Jim Sheridan right now, who has done a lot of Daniel Day-Lewis movies. And then,
Okay.
but yeah, like I like that focus. I like that focus of
Yeah.
each month having some kind of like, how do I tackle my collection of like movies I love, but also movies I haven't seen before. And
Exactly.
yeah, and
Yeah,
what it's feeling. Yeah.
and another thing I do on my channel is the 25 movie challenge where I know you kind of were involved with my Western one. We talked a little bit about
Yeah.
Westerns. But, yeah, so the one I'm doing right now has been going a little slower just because of the Hitchcock month and everything. But yeah, right now it's kind of like 100 movies that I've been meaning to see. It's put on a wheel and I spin it every time I finish one movie until I get to 25. And so that one's been fun, but it's exactly what you're saying. It's nice to have something you're focused on. Otherwise, I'm just kind of lost. It's like there's too much.
You're like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's too much. Like I have a pile of Criterions I haven't seen, so I think like I might put the actor on a hold and just like next month just do like my Criterion collection or something, like movies I haven't seen. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
we gotta do a challenge together where we do like a blindfold challenge where we like just put a blindfold on and just grab movies, and this is it.
Totally. That's what we got to do. Yeah, that'd be really fun.
That would be fun content, but like we could splice the video together where like we're both in our movie rooms just trying to find movies, knocking stuff over.
I know, bumping into the wall and everything.
Yeah, we could make that a lot of fun. That actually, I know that was a joke, but I also kind of want to do that. So, so
Hey, why not?
yeah, yeah. Well, we'll figure something out when we're not busy and all that stuff. But yeah. So anyway, let's let's jump into the film journey now. So for the first question, like I always like to ask, what is some of your first early movie memories that you've had?
So, earliest memories, I'd have to acknowledge the Disney VHS tapes. Just you know the ones like the
Jones.
Lion Kings, the Beauty and the Beasts, yeah, Snow White, Bambi, really any classical Disney movie we had it on VHS. And so I think I definitely credit Lion King as being one of the earliest movies that I remember jumping on the couches singing I Just Can't Wait to Be King with my little sister. And we created like our own choreography and everything. It was absolute garbage. I couldn't like I think it just involved us like jumping on the couch and then jumping up onto the armrest whenever it was like the long notes that had to be held. And we just like stay there and then jump back on like it was awful, but it was a blast for us. We'd like throw pillows and everything. So that's one of my earliest memories. Yeah, and then I'd say like animation, just whatever we owned on VHS. And so movies like Pee Wee's Big Adventure we had on VHS. And I love that movie to this day. And I think it was because I saw it as a kid and also because it's a masterpiece. But
It's
um,
definitely. I mean, I need to rewatch it, but I've heard nothing. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but it's
really, yeah.
been long overdue. Yeah.
No, yeah, I love that movie. But I think that those movies that were in the VHS collection and then movies that were like aired on Disney Channel, like those awful movies, the
I know
Disney Channel original movies like Smart House and
my mother married a is dating a
oh,
vampire.
My mom's got a date with a vampire.
Yeah, that movie and
I think yeah, mom's got a date with a
Luck
vampire.
of
And
the
then there's
Irish.
like yeah, Luck of the Irish, My Date with the President's Daughter.
That
Like
I have that song is now in my head. Thank you, thank you.
oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's gonna be it's definitely stuck in my head now too. Dang it.
Right. Yeah, those are some classic bangers.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So with that similar kind of background that I had as well, when was that next transition? Was your family like going to the movie store,
Mhm.
renting movies, or like was there a particular night that you guys all did this together?
Yeah, I think I have memories of just knowing how to put the VHS in, watching it on my own. Like if we were at home voting on a movie, like we would lay my little sister and I would lay all the movies out and we would vote. So it's like there's 10 movies and it's like, all right, you get to choose five this round. And then we would eliminate it until there's only two left and then you vote for one. We would do things like that. I don't think I have one milestone historical moment of like, oh my gosh, I love movies now. I think I just loved them my whole life. I think they always fascinated me. I'll get into this a little bit more later, but when I was a kid, I would, my mom would take me over to her friend's house and I would, if their movie collection was out, I would just walk over there and start looking at it. And I'd pull the movies out and my mom would be like, Nathan, don't do that. They'd be like, oh, he's okay. Like they're always so sweet about it. But I'm like, Mom, they said it's okay. I can look now. Or like I would ask them. I have a memory of even asking, like, do you have a movie collection? And like my mom's probably like, oh
First,
my
first,
God.
first thing, walk in, look around.
Yeah,
Like, do you have a exhibit
exactly.
here?
Yeah, you kind of feel it out. You're like, I feel like they'd have the movies over there. And I was like, of course I was right. And it was good. But like under the TV, it's like it's obvious. And
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
like, hey, can I look at your movies? And they're like, yeah, of course. And like, I don't know what I was accomplishing, but it was just that curiosity to see what kind of movies they liked or to say, oh, we own this movie too. And this is when I'm like 6 or 7 years
Yeah,
old. But
yeah.
there's always just that natural fascination and there's no one else in my family that likes movies quite the way I do. Like I'm the movie guy. Like I give them the recommendations and everything. I don't know if you can relate, but
I can relate.
yeah,
In the family.
I,
I'm the one who's like, what, why do you do this? And I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
it's because I don't know why, but I have to. I have to.
No, it's
Now,
like,
I,
it's like
yeah.
oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say now I kind of just want to go to people. If I'm ever at a random, like at the age that I am now, I want to kind of
Yeah,
do what you were doing at 6.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, and like I feel like being the movie guy, it's a good thing and a bad thing because they like for an example, I remember when the new Aladdin movie came out, the live action one. My it's a bad thing because my family knows I'm more strict towards movies. And so like my older sister writes me and she's like, I don't think you've seen this yet, but just warning you, I really liked it, so I don't want to hear what you thought about it because she knew that I probably wouldn't like it,
Mhm.
and I'm like, fair enough. I'm like, I don't know if I this is a compliment or an insult, but I'll take it. And then, but then also it's a compliment because they'll reach out to you and be like, quick, I need a movie recommendation, and I'll send them like five. And so because I kind of know what they like and what they don't like,
Yeah.
um, and so I've always been kind of like that guy. But yeah, we rented movies from Blockbuster Movie Gallery growing up, and I always had a fascination with horror movies. I don't like horror movies like bloody, gory, and I'm definitely not a horror movie channel, but I just like the thrill. And so like when we were kids, we would always rent Goosebumps if we could from Blockbuster. And even as kids, we're like, this is so cheesy, but we like loved it.
Mhm.
And then like if mom and dad were watching a scary movie, loved sneaking in and then sleeping in their room that same night because I
You're
was
like,
scared.
nope.
Yeah,
Why am
exactly.
I doing this? Like,
No, like I have a distinct memory. I can't remember why, but I was sleeping in my parents' room on the floor, and they had a fireplace in their room, and it was like a glass. It was like a fuel fireplace. You don't use actual like firewood.
It's one of those more electronic ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I can't think of the name for it, but you like turn on a light switch and flames come up.
Hmm.
So, anyways, they thought I was asleep because I was turning away. I was away from the TV, but little did they know I was actually watching the movie through the reflection of the fireplace. And I could hear the volume and everything. So I was watching the whole entire movie and I was comfortable in bed and it was great. And so I watched the scary movie with them, although they thought I was asleep. So little things like that, I just
You
always had a
remember the
fascination.
movie?
What was that?
You remember the movie?
I think it was The Others, the Nicole Kidman
Ooh.
movie.
Ah,
Yeah, that's one of my earliest memories of being like horrified from a movie.
at least you watched it through like the lens of a fireplace, right?
Yeah, I know. I love the movie today. It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a kid, it scared me.
That reminds me of I think I've mentioned this before, but one of my early I because I was terrified of scary movies growing up. I love them
Mm.
now, of course. But I remember watching Darkness Falls, the Tooth Fairy. Like
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
it's a low. I mean, it's not good. I mean, it clearly. I'm sure if I looked it up on IMDb, they'll have like a 3 out of 10 or something. But it's about the Tooth Fairy, and like the opening sequence is just one of the most horrifying things. And I just remember at my friend's house, just like peeking over the couch, and then like I don't want to see it. Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah.
No, that would be scary because Darkness Falls.
Yeah. I was
Oh
saying.
my gosh, yeah.
What
4.9
I was
audience rating, and
shoot.
then the meta score is a 23.
So a 3.
It's awful. Yeah, no, it's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's oh gosh. A vengeful spirit has taken the form of the Tooth Fairy to exact vengeance on the town that lynched her 150 years earlier. No, I could see how that'd be scary as a kid too, or like even however old you were, because it's like, well, especially if you're a kid, it's like you believe in the Tooth Fairy, and to like see a movie where the Tooth Fairy is the bad guy, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
well, I still think the Tooth Fairy is real. That's why
well, I'm like,
that's why the lights are always on. That's part of the movie, actually, the lights. But
like, stop joking. This movie is traumatizing
stop
me. I'm like,
joking. It still bothers me
oh no.
to this day. This has become therapy, right? Yeah.
Perfect.
What was that? What was that next step? Like in your adolescent years, as you're growing up further into DVDs and the like.
Mhm.
What would it look like then?
So my earliest memory is I loved the Spider-Man movies, the Tobey Maguire ones, and I remember that that was one of the first DVDs I ever bought. Even knowing that the family owned it on DVD, I wanted it because I wanted it in my collection. And my attitude was someday I'm going to be an adult and I need a movie in my collection. But it's funny because like DVDs are like so they're like the VHS of today kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so it's funny looking back on that, but little things where like it felt so cool having a movie to my name that I spent money on. And so I started asking movies for my birthday. So I remember I'd get DVDs and VHS for Christmas and birthdays. So I remember getting like Monster House on DVD.
Nice.
And yeah, I remember having the Gremlins on VHS. But it was just being introduced to these movies that were kind of like considered classics, like the Gremlins. I wasn't alive when that came out, but I'd seen it as a kid and I
Hmm.
really liked it too. And then but I'd say that the time where I started collecting movies, I got more passionate about it. And it kind of turned into a thing where it was my older sister's friend actually. He had a really big movie collection. And that kind of he was my role model in a sense where I was like, I want a big movie collection. Like I want to start collecting every Disney animated movie. And I think that was my first passion project. Before there was Criterion, before there were Steel books or Digibooks or anything, it was just I just want to own the Disney movies on DVD. And then it turned into Blu-ray. So it's like, all right, I want to sell these DVDs now and get the Blu-rays.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't. I'm just sticking with Blu-rays because I can't keep up. So
Too expensive, especially Disney.
yeah, no, exactly. And so I think that was a new chapter in my life, just collecting the Blu-rays and everything. But it was probably when I was in high school, freshman, sophomore, around that time. I didn't use Letterboxd, and even though I think Letterboxd was around during that time, but I didn't use it yet. I actually found an old account that I made in high school, and I was like, "What the heck is this? I didn't know I had this." So that was funny. But I would have a notebook and I would rank movies. I had my top 100 movies in my notebook and I would scribble it out and then I would like put an arrow like, no, it's moving up now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you relate to that?
I can relate to that. Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember being so excited. I met a friend in high school. He's been in a few videos of my old channel, but I showed him my notebook. He's like, dude, I do this too. And I was like, no way, I want to see it. And so like we would compare each other's lists. And then what we would do is I had all their IMDb profiles bookmarked so I could look at their profiles and see what they ranked. It was like we didn't know Letterboxd existed. I guess I did, but I didn't use it.
It was like the old MySpace of Letterboxd, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah, no. I had it like bookmarked and then I would look like we would all see like Edge of Tomorrow together in theaters. So that night I would go on their IMDb and see where they ranked it on their top 10 of 2014, little things like that. And now Letterboxd is so much easier, but yeah, but like I think that was it. Just kind of like one thing led to the next, and now I'm a crazy psychopath obsessed with movies.
Well, can relate to that one.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was gonna say it must be a Nathan thing, but obviously everyone watching this is probably the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Same boat. I mean, that's probably how you found this video, everyone watching. So
yeah, amen.
Yeah, but I like being a crazy psychopath or the person who people reach out to being, a little bit like, hey, I love this thing. Don't say a word. Or
yeah,
the other way around where it's like I need something quick. Like
yeah exactly.
It's being that person that is I guess the person to look up to with movies.
Yeah, and
kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating too because I think movie or YouTube played a big role actually in my movie journey because I was a sophomore in high school and I was online school that year. I did every other school public, but that year we were moving and so it was just easier to do online school. And yeah, I discovered a Blu-ray video and I was like, wait, people talk about their movie collections? And so like I have an old channel called the Cinema Surfer. I think all the videos are like private now, but there's a video from like September 2012, I think, and I'm going through my movie collection. And then one thing led to the next of discovering other people. And even after taking a 2-year break, being on my mission for my church and everything, I got home and still had an interest enough to get back into the swing of things. So I think the YouTube has definitely, I know it's definitely progressed the love for movies and discovery of movies too.
Yeah. I was going to say, what was obviously you had an older channel,
Yeah.
going from that, taking that break, and then coming back, because that's I remember more around maybe the 2016, 2017 mark is when I kind of remember you.
Yeah.
So was that like I guess I feel like for me at least that was when I was really starting to get in like to Criterion.
Yeah.
And then it started getting outside of all these things. But I don't know, what about you? What was those
Yeah.
for you?
I would say, yeah, around the same time. So 2017, I got home from my mission and I made my first video Halloween 2017, and it was a ranking of the Universal monster movies, the black and white ones.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing was my movie channel was the Cinema Surfer, and the channel I have now, Nathan Hale Classics, it started out as a book channel back in high school. It was BookTube, and I still love books. I still watch BookTubers actually, but
watch too.
Yeah, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, but I came home and the BookTube channel had more of a following. I had this Harry Potter book ranking video that had blown up while I was gone on my mission. It's still my most popular video, and it's like so cringy, but it has like over 100,000 views, and I don't even like claiming it, but it's me. But
The
it
link
kind
is there forever.
of no, please
Wait.
no, no, yeah, you can. It's like my oldest video on this channel, but it's like it blew up, and so I was like, you know what? Like people know about this channel, so I'm gonna convert this to the movie channel. And it's been a process, but I'd say it wasn't actually until the pandemic that I really it was kind of like a 2018, I would say, was doing it for fun, and I posted consistently. And then going into 19, it was more just like posting when I can. And then when the pandemic happened, I remember I was like, I want to have a video out like every week. And I went through this phase where I did, and I gained more subscribers because more people were home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you can relate too, but the pandemic just like,
It ramped everything up. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And
Wanted to
then,
do more. Yeah.
yeah, and then we went through that phase where it's like, oh wait, now I kind of like lost the people that were watching it, but I still like talking. And so I just kept making videos, not as consistently. I mean, also I go to school and stuff. And so um, schedule wise, it was kind of hard sometimes, but I'd say the pandemic era and probably 2018 was the time where it was really like exploding.
Yeah. I mean, that's like you were saying that it just all it makes a lot of sense to me too, just
Yeah.
with how everything kind of came to be. But I mean, obviously, we were talking earlier about meeting people for the first time,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But yeah, so now we're at the current spot now. But I would like to kind of pick your brain a little bit,
Sure.
thinking about all those years collectively. What about some of your favorite films of all time? Do you have some from like when you were younger that you still love, or what about like some ones now?
Okay, so like some of my number one movies when I was younger, based versus now, or just like favorite movies now.
However you want to answer it.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Cool. Cool. Yeah. So I will answer it. I'll share a few of my number ones of the past because I think that's always fascinating to see the journey. But Harry Potter consistently has always been a favorite series of mine, and Star Wars too. So I'll just throw that out there. But I remember one of my earliest favorite movies was Recess School's Out.
Oh yeah, I remember that
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I loved the Recess TV show. There's a phase I went through where I
show.
loved that TV show. And so that movie, I was just like, well, I have to claim this as my favorite movie because I love the TV show.
Hmm.
And so I would say that was one at one point. And then there's another point where, oh man, I was reading an old journal of mine, and it was like, if I could only bring 5 movies to a deserted island, what would I bring? Like one of them was Megamind, and that surprised myself because I haven't seen that movie in years. I was like, why did I choose Megamind out of everything?
Yeah, yeah.
But apparently, like younger me loved Megamind.
Hmm.
So there's that. And then I loved Rise of the Planet of the Apes at one point. There
Yeah,
was I still
very
love
good
it.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
trilogy is
one.
great. That trilogy is
Yeah,
great.
I was gonna say that's one that like to this day I still love the whole trilogy. But when I saw each of them in theaters and I loved all of them. And so that and then it was kind of it was in high school when The Lion King, I declared it as my favorite movie of all time. It was so much my favorite movie that, and people knew that it was my favorite movie. Like my friends, I remember one time they were calling me my name in a crowd, and I genuinely didn't hear them. And I'm
Hmm.
not even joking. They're like, The Lion King. And I turned around and they're like, oh, that got your, yeah. No, and it actually worked. I was like, what the heck?
Uh,
It was weird. Like it actually worked. And so and they started laughing because like we knew that would work. So people knew that Lion King was my favorite too.
oh
But
man,
it was funny enough on my mission when I wasn't allowed to watch any movies because like our whole purpose is just to do our missionary work.
focus right. Yeah.
But our mission president, he allowed us to watch G-rated movies on, it was like Christmas. So like the most non-threatening movies, if you will. So I actually had a chance on my mission to watch 3 movies. It was The Lion King, Wally. I didn't choose Wally, another missionary did, but I had to watch it. And I love Wally, but Wally and It's a
It's
Wonderful Life. Yeah, Wonderful Life is actually PG, but he allowed it. Um,
it's he's like I know how important this movie is. We can watch it.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And at that time, like Lion King and Wonderful Life, like Lion King was one, Wonderful Life was two. But ironically enough, it was on my mission that I was like, you know what? I think I need to make the switch. Like, I think Wonderful Life is my number one. And so it was during a time where I didn't even watch movies that I decided that Wonderful Life was my number one. And it's been my number one since that time of watching it on the mission. And so 2015. So it's been a long number one, but I watch it every year. I love it every year. And it has everything going for it. Like James Stewart's my favorite actor. Frank Capra's one of my favorite directors.
Mm-hmm.
Love black and white movies. Christmas is my favorite holiday. Like all these
It just
things.
checks off everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I love a movie that talks about loving life. That's why I like Soul, the Pixar movie. I loved that movie.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I love those kinds of movies that have that message. And so Wonderful Life, that is the ultimate message. And so I love it.
Yeah.
And that's my number one to this day.
I think that's a very good number one. And actually, I just recently, I haven't watched it every year. I try to. I mean, I've seen it a lot of times, of course. But
Yeah.
when the 4K came out, was it last year when it came out? Or
Maybe
I'm unaware. I can't remember when it came out, but
the 4K though.
I did watch it last year, Christmas, around Christmas time. That's a great.
Yeah.
I have mine over there. So
Nice.
yeah, so I really liked It's a Wonderful Life. That's an amazing film, and I highly recommend it for everyone who you should have all seen it by now. Of course. What about some like favorite directors? I know you mentioned like Frank Capra. Do you have any other directors that you like?
Yeah, besides Alfred Hitchcock, of course. Yeah, Hitchcock and Capra are up there. I modern day, it's Christopher Nolan without a doubt. It's like it's annoying because a lot of people say that, but I know my reasons of loving him, and it has nothing to do with other people loving him. You know what I mean? So like, I feel comfortable still saying that he's my favorite director and not being like, oh, okay, everyone likes Christopher Nolan because it's like, no, like I do like him. Like he has so many movies in my 100 favorite movies ranked list, and I'm just so impressed with everything he does. So Christopher Nolan is a favorite working today. Another working today, Denis Villeneuve. I was very impressed with Dune.
Yeah.
My uncle turned on Arrival the other day, and I had to leave, but I didn't want to leave. I was like, oh no, I shouldn't have started this with you because I was like, I couldn't leave my seat because it's just so intriguing. But of all time, I'm gonna quickly, I'm gonna cheat and pull up my Letterboxd because I know I have a
List.
yeah, I have a director's ranked list. Okay, so Steven Spielberg, of course. I would say Billy Wilder. I love Billy Wilder.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, he was actually the first director that I really committed to watching all his movies. So he only made 25 all on his own. So it's not a lot, but it still is a commitment. And
yeah,
he just like amazed me with how ahead of their time those movies are. Like his writing, I'll say he's not my favorite director, but he's probably my favorite screenwriter. I think he is very talented.
His dialogue and his wit is just
it's so good. And it's like so much of his content feels it's like this was made in the 50s and the 60s, like crazy.
Yeah.
Sidney Lumet, John Hughes.
Yeah.
Love all those. And then I'll also throw in William Wyler because he doesn't get a lot of praise, but I think he's amazing.
Good stuff. I love those directors. I think those are all good choices.
Thank you,
man. Shoot, I did have a thought because you just mentioned it for a second, but I am kind of curious what your favorite Nolan film is.
Oh yeah, Christopher Nolan film. Yeah. Okay, why did I have to think about that for a second? I know the answer. I was like, what is my favorite? Inception is definitely my favorite.
Excellent. Yeah. Interstellar is mine.
Oh wait, Interstellar is my number 2.
There you go. Inception is my number 2. So
nice. Okay, cool.
It's a Nathan thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then is Dark Knight your number 3 by chance?
Actually, I like Batman Begins more.
Oh, I respect that because I like Batman Begins is up there for me. It's like number 5, I think.
Yeah, which is high. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like Batman Begins more than Dark Knight Rises for sure. And then I like it more than the new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. I'd say like Dark Knight, Batman Begins, then the new Batman. And then after that, it's just kind of like hard to rank.
Now we're in the whole Batman thing. So now I'm thinking like my favorite Batmans. And I think mine has to be, and there's no particular ranking here, but it would be Batman Begins, the new Batman,
Mhm.
and then Batman Returns. Those are my three favorite
Oh,
Batmans.
okay, okay, nice. I do like Batman Returns more than Batman 1989, so I
Yeah,
respect that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's a better film.
I do too, and I love the Christmas setting too.
Yeah, there's the
This
Christmas.
is a
Yeah,
yeah. I oh there I go again. Dang it.
there he goes
No, but
again
it's
with
just
Christmas. Yeah,
there's something about I love seeing snow in movies. Like I love snow so much, and so I just love it. There's another reason I loved a small reason I liked Spider-Man No Way Home because it was like around Christmas time, and I was like, this is cool. Like I just like this.
yeah. No, it's setting does play a huge role in kind of like
Totally.
just like I don't know. You get those like nostalgic but also like emotional kind of connections with those types of things, and I get
Yeah.
yeah. Snow definitely comforts me for some reason.
Yeah, no, same. And then like in a black and white movie, whenever there's fog, I like thinking of the fog as like a character on its own because it just sets the tone so well.
Brief Encounter, the fog
Yeah,
is such a character in that film.
yeah, absolutely.
I
And
just
then
watched
like
that. Yeah,
even if you watch like The Wolf Man or something,
the fog
or
is
like,
so yeah.
yeah, and then I think it was a Humphrey Bogart movie. I want to say it was Key Largo that there was fog in that one, and it like made me think about it. But either way, if there's fog, I'll probably like the movie a little
Yeah.
more than just like it being a normal movie.
Well, this kind of leads me to that next question because you've mentioned a lot of these people are probably already, but what about some of your favorite actors and actresses?
Yeah. So I'll yeah, I love the classics. I love the classics. So I'll try not to spend too. I'll share a few classics, a few modern day, but classics. James Stewart, yeah. Charles Lawton, and then Sidney Poitier. I'd say that those are like my top three of like the classics. Love all those. There's a lot more, but I'll just keep it at that. And then modern day, love Christian Bale. Um, I've always, okay, not always. Matt Damon, I'm just kind of biased because um, I grew up with his movies, like grew up with the Bourne movies, loved him in those. And then I didn't really grow up with the Oceans movies, but I love him in there. Like Bourne movies, I think really set Matt Damon aside, like it put him in the spotlight for me. And so now whenever I see him, I'm like, oh yeah, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
Hot take. Everyone loves Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not as big on DiCaprio as other people. Like,
that's fine. Yeah, I mean, like
yeah,
I feel very lukewarm about it. Like,
yeah, I think
I
I
don't,
do too.
I don't. I mean, like, there's a lot of things in that I'm like, wow, you're really good in this, but he's not like my favorites. But like, I like him all right, you know.
Yeah, and then Andrew Garfield, love him. Benedict Cumberbatch, but I need to say some actresses. So as far as older actresses, cliches, Audrey Hepburn, Grace Kelly. Um, I know that there's someone I like Ingrid Bergman a lot, but I know that I'm going to be watching this episode and I'm going to be like, Nathan, why didn't you say that actress? So just for all those watching, I know there's another classic actress I'm
He'll
missing.
comment down below. He'll say,
I'll comment it below. I'll be like, this is the one. But and then modern day actresses, I love Winona Ryder. I want to see more of her. I
mm,
haven't seen a lot, but just like she is so unique to me. And the fact that we get a TV show with her in it so consistently, Stranger Things,
more and more of her, which is great.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so cool. So that's where I've seen a lot of her. I've seen several of her movies, but it wasn't until the other day I was like looking at my Letterboxd and looking at her filmography. I was like, I haven't seen a lot, and so I added a ton to my watch list. But Winona Ryder, I like Keira Knightley, um, Emma Stone, Jennifer Lawrence. So there's kind of a general idea. I know there's definitely more, but off the top of my head,
Check down there, everyone.
yeah, everyone read the comments for my top 100 performers.
Well, just type it all out. Don't like leave a link or anything. Just like
Okay, sounds good.
kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so think about all those actors and actresses, but also those directors. If you could work with any of those people, the director or an actor, honestly, who would you want to work with? And also who like would you just be like a small role, or would you like to kind of be like a main role in this?
So, director Alfred Hitchcock, no doubt. He's the director I've studied the most, and so I just really want to meet him in general. Like even outside of like which movie director would you like to meet? If it was like what famous person would you like to meet, he would be amongst the top, and his contender would be James Stewart. So James Stewart and Alfred Hitchcock. So I guess I'm gonna find myself in like Rear Window or something. But And then it'd be cool to work with Audrey Hepburn too. I think those would be my go-to three. No, I'll say Winona Ryder to make it a little interesting because she's kind of she works in Tim Burton. She kind of likes darker stuff, so maybe her James Stewart in Hitchcock would be funny. But I don't think I think I'd love a bigger role just to share more screen time with them and stuff. But even if I had a cameo where I'm like the pizza guy or something,
Mhm.
just like and I can snap a photo with all three of them at some point. I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I could see it in Rear Window. If all those people were in there, you could be the pizza guy for each of those for different parts of the movie. You're coming
Totally.
at their door. That'd
Yeah,
be
and maybe like I get murdered by Raymond Burr too or something. Like maybe I deliver the pizza to the wrong guy and
that
then
would be fun though. Yeah.
they see like my pizza hat out of the flower pot or something. Like
Like, huh, that wasn't there before. I didn't know
wait
he
a
worked at a
second.
pizza.
Our pizza never arrived last night. Like
Weird. He said he was gonna have 30 minutes or less or something like that. I don't know. But well, I guess the pie's never sliced, but anyway, I'm not gonna
exactly.
yeah.
This guy gets it.
Yeah, I get it. What about like thinking about this is the hardest one that I like to ask.
Okay.
The question. Luckily, some people ask in advance, so luckily they have some time to think. But if your life was a movie, and what would you title it?
Oh, okay. I mean, the temptation is to say "Welcome to Hale" because that's my
Oh,
little
I like
yeah,
it.
that's my little intro every time I start the a video on the channel.
We like to play with our names. I do the same thing with the
Yeah,
Jones and around bit.
yeah, exactly. It's just fun. It's just fun. Isn't it funny we use our last names though? You can't really do too much with Nathan, but
Yeah, I got Nathan for it.
ah,
It's like a
that was
stretch though.
that was good. That was good. Hey guys, I'm Nathan, and I got Nathan. Like,
Like, no.
it worked. It worked just now, but when I did it, it didn't work. But a name of oh, I like. Am I coming up with a movie title, or am I using a previous movie title to describe my life?
Either or. You can
Okay.
definitely use an older title that would fit if you want.
Yeah. Um. So if I can use another movie title, and I think I'm just going to use this because I can't think of anything else. If I were to make one up, it'd be something stupid with my last name, like Hale, yeah, or Welcome to Hale,
Yeah,
or yeah, whatever, Justin Hale. I don't know. Um,
Justin Hale, I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Nathan Hale.
My name's not Justin, so that wouldn't be as clever. But if I could do a movie title, it's cliche, but I would do "It's a Wonderful Life" because like it's such an optimistic title, and I like to think I'm an optimistic person, and so and "Wonderful Life," you really see the whole life of George Bailey. You see the ups and you see a lot of the downs. And I think that's what life is. Not to get all like cheesy and sentimental, but like life has its ups and it has its downs, and so calling it my life, my life as a movie, It's a Wonderful Life, I think it just perfectly encapsulates everything. And that's another reason I love the movie so much.
I mean, it's that there's a reason why it's such a classic, and obviously
Yeah.
the title is perfect. So I mean,
Yeah.
so taking that title would, although if you remade it, obviously with that name, people would be like, "What are you doing?" So
Yeah. Oh,
you're like, "Oh,
absolutely.
nothing to do with this."
No, no, I
This
promise.
guy on YouTube, he asked me what my what my title would be, and this is how I became a director, and this is what I did.
Yeah, no, exactly. Funny enough, I asked my friend once, I was like, if you could describe your life with the name of a movie, what would it be? His
Mhm.
answer was Toy Story 2. I was like, what does that even mean? Like, not only he didn't even do Toy Story
I
1,
love
he did
the
Toy
sequel.
Story 2. I was
I
like,
love
what?
that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is, and now I'm gonna blank. I'm sure I'm gonna say. I think it was. Is either Charlie Sheen or Martin Sheen, dad. Is like a buddy cop movie, but it's like it's the second, and there was never a first. I'm sure somebody's gonna let me know in the comment section what
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was, but like, my God, like what, like what are we doing here?
Yeah,
I love that stuff. Because I always think of like Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like if
yeah.
someone says, whatever to Electric Boogaloo, and
Uh-huh.
why is that the subtitle? Like what? Just because it rhymes.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah. Well, kind of coming together with all this fun stuff. Tell me more about how kind of the medium in general has like interacted with you. I mean, you can even like mention that your time like on BookTube and stuff. How has just being connected to this type of community, and also just the forms of art that you like to consume and share. How has that affected your worldview and outlook on life?
Oh, that's a really good question. I know it definitely has had an impact. It's made me appreciate movies more to a point where people I interact with, I feel like I'm more well spoken, better spoken. I don't know.
Better well spoken. I like that.
The irony that I'm not
Yeah.
well spoken in saying that. Yeah, no, I feel like I'm better at speaking about movies with people, and I don't so much look at it as, oh, there's Nathan the movie guy, because I know there are other people out there that are just like me.
Other Nathan
And
movie guys.
yeah, other that worked out really well. Yeah, other Nathan guys just jonesing around
Yeah.
doing their thing.
What the hell? I don't know what's
Yeah,
going
I know. What the hell, man? But yeah, and it's also it's been cool because I've discovered movies that I would have never known about through things like the Criterion Collection. But then even one step beyond that, watching a Criterion recommendation video or watching someone show off their collection and they highly speak of one movie. Like I remember Stephanie from Movie Chatter talking about The Bridge, and that was a movie I never heard of, even though I'd been collecting Criterions for several years, and I bought it and I was shocked by how good it was. Little things like that where I still remember that recommendation from her, even though she has no idea she recommended that. You know what I mean? Like she
on.
just has a video that she made, talked about this movie. It's said and done. But for me, I'm like, no, like I still remember that movie now. And um, little things like that, I think, have also led to me having movie nights where I invite a friend over or friends over, and it's like, we're going to watch this movie. They've never heard of it, of course. And then they see it and they're like, that's like one of the best movies I've ever seen. And it's just little things like that. It's been because of this whole medium of seeing other people's rankings and hearing other people's thoughts and knowing, oh, they like that movie, so if they like this movie, I'll give it a try as well, kind of thing. Like you can trust their opinion and whatnot, or in some cases you don't trust their opinion, which is okay too.
Yeah.
But
We
yeah,
gotta also look down below everyone for recommendations that you shouldn't be following. We're gonna be
yeah, exactly. I'll leave a list of YouTubers I hate in the comments below. I'm just kidding.
let's do it. I'm kidding.
Yeah, yeah, why not?
Yeah, we'll put Steph there because she's probably watching.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Steph. Yeah, no, no, we're good friends. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, that she'll probably watch this and say something. But yeah, that's great. Sorry, I cut you off in the middle of that. So
No, that's okay. I think that was pretty much I think I pretty much said what I wanted to say. It's just that whole idea of we've never met each other, yet we have this connection. Like, I've never met you in person, and I hadn't met Bernardo until a few weeks ago. I had this other friend, Carson Bates. He used to make,
yeah, I know him. Yeah,
you know, Carson, yeah.
yeah.
So he used to make Blu-ray videos. He doesn't anymore, but he discovered my channel, and when I got off my mission, he reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, man, like I never thought you'd make videos again. Let's talk." So we had a little Google Hangout. Long story short, through the years, we started talking more. And now, like, we text on basically a daily basis. And I've never met him in real life, but it's been kind of a thing where it's like, even though he doesn't even make videos, we have so much in common. He loves Survivor, and he's gotten me to love Survivor even more. And but then we're very similar in like ranking movies. And I do a movie award show at the end of each year where like I pooled together my first time watches and declared kind of a best picture, a best
Oh,
actor.
nice.
And
Yeah,
he does that same exact thing. And so little things like that, where it's like, I would have never met someone like the Carsons or the Nathan Joneses or the Bernardo Cisneros, like all of these people, had I not joined the medium. So it's amazing. And I've met a lot of cool people, learned a lot of cool things too.
yeah. I mean, this is a very unique space, and I hope it continues. And I hope
Yeah.
we can keep meeting new faces and people who are watching this now. Like even people who aren't content creators or just
Yeah.
making videos, or people just in the comment section or just watching it. I think honestly that's what kind of makes this whole thing. We're enabling each other. That's the joke that Steph and I always say is
Yeah.
we're really like, it's like, hey, check this out. It's like, I should buy that.
I know, that's so true. I didn't think about it like that. It's like, dang it, why did you have to show me that?
Yeah, that's our problem, which I need to slow down after all my trips and all these stupid purchases. I
You love them, but you hate them.
I do. I mean, I don't. There's no hate in it, but
That's fair. That's
but I
fair.
also, well, there is some hate in it on my wallet side. Uh,
That's fair. Okay, that's best way to say it.
yeah, yeah. Well, this has been like an absolute blast, man. Do you have any final thoughts for people watching?
Um, yes, since my channel is all about classical movies, I would just like to give a shout out to classic movies in general. If you think that classical movies are all the same, you're wrong. I've discovered some of my favorite movies of all time, and that doesn't only limit them to US releases. Foreign classic movies are amazing. One that comes to my mind is Akiru, but I won't start recommending movies because then we'll be here forever. I'll
Mhm.
just say if you're on the fence about black and white movies, reach out to me. I have so many recommendations for you. I literally have a letterbox list. It's called underrated black and white movies I've discovered. And so I have so many recommendations just waiting to be given. I'd love to talk to you more about why I love them, and you can visit my channel to see why I love them too. But I always have to give a shout out to classic movies. So if you're on the fence about them, give them another chance, please.
Well, I hope that the majority of you watching this are fans of classic movies.
Yeah.
If you're not, like I'll be putting that actually in the link down below with extra stuff. So, yeah, this has been a real treat, and I'm kind of sad that we're ending this. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is awesome. For everyone watching at home down there. All our comments are there, description, all that stuff, we always mention. So,
Mhm.
yeah, this has been great, man.
Yeah. Thank you again so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
So, what about obviously your channels there? What about some links? Any other thing that you want
Oh,
people to follow?
yeah. So, as far as links, I would just recommend Instagram and Letterboxd. So both channels, it is at Cinema Nate. So yeah, Letterboxd. You can see my lists. I have over 100 lists, so I'll keep you entertained for a while. And then Instagram, I really like doing movie battles. I'll do like tournaments, and I'll post like sneak peeks for the channel, or if I like do something movie related. So like earlier this summer, I visited some cemeteries with some famous people buried there. Little things like that, where it's like this is my way of interacting with movie fans through social media. And so it's not only on YouTube. So I'd recommend if you're interested, Instagram and Letterboxd. And yeah, I'll see you guys there.
Yeah, it's all going to be down there. I love those spaces too. I mean, I'm obviously these main things are from YouTube. Like that's how we do this. But
Yeah.
obviously, I feel like I have people who watch me who are on my Instagram or something that don't at all watch my channel and
I
my
know. Yeah, no, I definitely feel that way too sometimes.
but also my I have the problem of like my Instagram is like kind of mixed with my personal life. So it's like
Uh-huh.
I don't, I
Okay.
don't have I don't have a separate one, but also like I don't really post very much there anymore. So I don't.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
anyway, but yeah, all those links are in the description for everyone. Once again, Nathan, this was a lot of fun. Uh,
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching.
I hope we're able to meet up again in real life, but also let's do something
Oh,
on your
yeah,
channel or
absolutely.
something here. Yeah, I'm totally down for it. So.
Sounds great.
Well, everyone who's watching this at home, I hope you enjoyed this conversation. We'd love to interact with you down in the comment section. Thank you so much for checking it out, liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, all those fun things we like to say at the end. And yeah, I'm not jonesing around.